everyone said it.
Has anyone here ever seen or heard anything on the news that they thought was really valuable, and then you immediately did something, sprung into action, and did something that was of value that helped with anything?
Oh Lord, I don't know. I don't know.
Of value.
How about the 2020 Black Square?
Yeah, well,
is that like Mecca? What is that?
You don't remember?
That's good. Well, anyways, I was gonna say of value, not so much, but in that moment,
Black Square was BLM, right?
Yeah,
it was that stuff.
Shit.
Yeah.
I got jacked up by BLM.
Dog.
That was tough for me.
What happened?
I just was coerced.
Oh. Did you do a Black Square too?
Oh no, I didn't do Black Square.
Yeah.
But I did white fragility.
Oh.
Which is fine. I think it's good. So that's the thing.
I think an correction in one way and being sympathetic isn't.
I pendulum back and forth. At first, I was like, "This feels coercive." There
are aspects of it that are very coercive.
You're demanding that I have an opinion about something that I haven't sat with for more than 25 seconds.
Yes.
And if I don't have an opinion right now, I'm a racist or whatever. Like, this is so blatantly coercive. I'm like, that was my immediate response. And then it transitioned to like the tribe was essentially, they were marching and they had their flaming, whatever torches, and they're like coming to your door. And I'm like, oh shit, you guys are right. If everyone is saying the thing, you must be right. So then I flipped to the other side. I was like, white fragility. Like, oh my God, like I had no idea I'm a racist. I'm so sorry. And then I was like, after that, I was like, oh no, that's not it. But I just got freaking ping ponged. I have so much respect for people that are more mature.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'll read some books. I'll reflect on this. I'll have conversations. But you're not going to boss me into saying something. That's like, what is that?
It's just an example of how things can go too far. Like the only thing people could think about from that situation, or maybe should try to think about, is since I've been able to get to know Mark and since I've been able to get to know Andrew, I've been able to have an understanding of how they go through the world and the things that they personally deal with going through the world. And some of the benefits of some of the things in 2020 is it opened the eyes of people to how certain other people experience the world. Now, it doesn't mean you need to bully people into thinking certain things because now they understand your perspective. And just because someone doesn't, like, you don't deal with certain things that I may be dealing with on a daily, often, right? But just because you maybe don't deal with those things or it's not part of your experience, it doesn't mean that because you're not maybe overly sympathetic to that you're racist, which is what people were labeling that. The using the term racist was something that just started to become so fucking downplayed in 2020. It's just like, no, that person's not a racist. Stop using that term like that.
I wonder y'all's perspective on this.
I like that.
Y'all's. I feel like personally that the BLM movement and the way that it transpired actually created more racism. And I feel very strongly about that actually, but I'm trying to be sensitive and like, maybe not.
Tell us what you mean.
I noticed after that, I would just notice if you were black. Before that, I didn't. It was like
I didn't see color.
I did not see color. I was like, oh, cool, black, whatever. Yeah. Whereas, like after that, I was like, oh, fuck, dude's black. Like, how do I, what do I do with my hands? Like I don't want to offend. I don't want to I don't want to say the wrong thing. Whereas before it wasn't. Me personally, we're all judgmental to some degree, and we're picking up the color of a person's car and the types of clothes that they're wearing and the type of car that they choose and their ethnicity. Are you Guatemalan? Are you Caucasian? Are you Irish? Like, we're gathering information from each other. It's not like we're blind to color. But I think the sensitivity of it afterwards, I actually felt more, I guess, just sensitive to race.
Yeah. Okay. So just being more aware of race, not because you said created more racists, but do you instead mean it created people that are more aware of race?
Yeah, like
and
more racial
them?
differentiation.
More racial differentiation. Do you think that is a bad or a net good?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I really don't know. Like the feeling walking into a room with like a multi-raced situation, we're a bunch of different races. I just feel like I personally felt more comfortable in that room kind of before that. And after that, I just felt more like, I don't know, like I'm more I mean, I guess more curious, which is fine.
Curious,
I just noticed a lot more.
Noticed a lot more, but were you uncomfortable with noticing more, or were you just noticing more?
Sometimes uncomfortable.
Sometimes uncomfortable.
Yeah, not wanting like wow, all this stuff is happening. Like, how does this make you feel?
Well, while it's happening, I can understand. Dog, 2020 had so many people messaging like, "Oh,
of course.
If you need any help,
Yeah.
like
how was that for you?
not like let's not even get into that. But there's an aspect of this that I think there is a net good in, not necessarily like you, right? You're more aware of some of the different people around you, right? But that awareness isn't a bad thing. You're just more aware of, oh, okay, that Mexican guy, maybe there's certain things that I'm thinking about with his experience. And that different guy, that different girl, there's maybe certain things that, oh, I'm kind of aware of some things that are different about them, because we all kind of deal with different things. And it's unfortunate, but we do deal with some different things just because of the way we look. And when you're going through with your blinders on, like me going through as a Black guy with my blinders on, I'm mainly thinking about that. And there are certain things that I may not understand about Mark and the way he sees things as a white guy. It's unfortunate that there are those differences in experiences just because of the way you look, but those differences exist. And I think a net good of some of those things, even though, God, the labeling of racist is just so disgusting. Yeah. But a net good is that there's just a little bit of perspective shifts that have gone on. In the moment, it wasn't great because some people, like, you got that white fragility thing, like, oh my God, my Black friend. Yeah. What you're going through is, okay, yeah. So like, let's tone it back a little bit. But there's more, we're now trying to look at things through different people's lenses. That's all. I think that's a net good. We're becoming more understanding of each other.
The approach of it, I would say, would amplify if there was like maybe subconscious fence sitters in the racism, like subconscious racism game.
Oh God.
Probably a lot of those fence sitters went like, oh, like more compassion, more empathy. Okay, like any aspect of myself that was acting in some type of like kind of pseudo racist-ish way, like maybe like less of that. But people that were leaning more from a place of like, they actually identify as like, I'm racist. Like, that's my thing.
It's sickening because activists would attack people for not doing the black square.
Right.
And say, you didn't put a black square? Are you an ally?
Yeah.
Dog, fuck you. Honestly, to try to coerce someone into that, fuck you. It's not cool.
So that will create that action. It all depends on the individual that's being projected on. But that action, I think, would create more